And I believe we're live now. Let me just check my device right fast before we go any further up in here. Let's see. It's my first time doing this. You know what? I take that back. I've done a live stream before on this channel by myself, but it was mostly trial and error. So let's just make sure that everything is on point. All right. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, here we go. That's it. All right. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we're live. I'm not going to be on screen. It's the beautiful queen. It's her time. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all so much for being here on the special edition of Collect All Monsters, where my queen GMK, the love of my life, yes, my beautiful wife, Sandra Chambers, she's going to talk about, in her own words, on her recent acquisitions, her figure acquisitions, if you will. The Spiral Studios, Titans of the Monsterverse, 35 centimeter vinyl Mothra Larva. That's the defensive version. And of course, you see the big guy right next to her. Yes, the deluxe version of the Spiral Studios Burning Godzilla 2019, both from their epic appearance from Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019. And thank y'all so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. First and foremost, Sandra, how you doing? How you doing? I know you saw you like 5 minutes ago, but how you doing, babe?
Oh, man, I am doing amazing. I am doing amazing.
Good. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear our voices really well. We don't have like individual microphones or whatever, so we want to talk somewhat loud or whatever, or at least raise our voices where it doesn't come across like we're in the library or something. So just let us know if the sound is everything, if the sound is coming in good, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, we got like 9 people watching. Of course, you know, Godzilla Train 1090, Adrian, he says that he can hear us well, so that's good. Fancies of Cats, Oscar Solis, Nathaniel Plummer, and of course Kyle Yount. He said, say it loud. Oh, but wow, thank y'all so much. We ain't gonna be here too long. But to give a little backstory about this stream. Now, you know, Sandra is a collector just like I am. She's not as avid as I am. Like, she's very strategic when it comes to what she wants to add in, you know, into her collection. And when she saw that Spiral Studios was doing both Mothra and this version of Godzilla, she was like, you know what? I gotta have it. And we'll go into more detail about why it is and all that good stuff. But first and foremost, Sandra, now that the wait is finally over, because the Burning Godzilla was announced, I want to say January of 2021, before the Ghidorah came out later that year. I think Mothra was announced that same year too. But now, after months and months and days and hours and minutes and milliseconds of waiting, we finally got it here in our awesome house. So how do you feel finally being the proud owner of Spiral Studios' newest and obviously most badass creations? How does it feel?
Oh my God. I'm gonna tell you, this has got to be the figure of the year, bar none. This thing is amazing. I am so excited. I'm just elated. I just was like, I have no words. It's so beautiful.
Well, it's nice to see you so happy. And let me give a huge shout out and thank you to a few people. Of course, Kyle Yount for helping me set up this stream, because again, I normally Kyle's the one that produces these shows and he's the man behind the camera, and Jonathan Portman to a degree. I just show up and just pick on people. That's what I do. So, but he kind of guided me in how to do a stream like this. So thank you to Kyle. Secondly, thank you to Ash for Spiral Studios. Yes. You know, the brainchild behind Spiral Studios. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
The engineers, the people that, you know, made this figure, who sculpted it, the people that shipped the figure, that packed the figure. Thank you so much. And finally, last, certainly but not least, the awesome one and the only owner of the awesome YouTube show and collectible shop, Kaiju Live, the one and the only AJ Russo. Thank you so much for making this happen for my queen. Because the backstory about this is really simple. Again, Sandra is a collector, but she is not. She's not on an up and up on a daily basis like I am, and that's fine. Again, she's very strategic in what she want to add to her collection. But when she saw both Mothra and Godzilla, she had to have it. And now Mothra wasn't really an issue pre-ordering her. The Burning Godzilla, I think at that point there were a few pre-orders that Kaiju Live had under their belt because they made only a certain amount of these. I think 450, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right?
450.
Yeah. So so when I inquired about getting this for Sandra, we were kind of like on the tail end of getting one. And at the time, I didn't know if I was able to get one. But when I asked AJ about it, he was like, done. You know what I'm saying? He was able to pull some strings and make it happen for us. And so again, it was announced January of 2021. You know, shipping delays, all that good stuff happened, you know, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. That's kind of part of the game when you're a Godzilla collector. But after all this time, it finally got released late April going into May of 2023. Both Mothra and Godzilla dropped at the exact same time. So before we go into the main event, which would be obviously the Burning Godzilla, I guess, Sandra, in your own words, why did you want to get these two pieces from Spiral in the first place? I know you were impressed by the Ghidorah that I got, but what made you say, you know what, I want to go after these pieces? Let's start with Mothra first.
Well, first of all, going back to Spiral, just the way they packed the King Ghidorah, you know, I was like, well, these guys are really, you know, top notch packing everything. And then when I saw this Mothra, I was like, this is beautiful. I mean, I like orange anyway, so you know, orange, burnt, copper look, orange, all the browns, stuff like that. I love that. When I saw, I said, oh, I got to have her. I mean, she's just gorgeous. She's beautiful. I wanted to have her to complement my Mothra that I have. I have a few Mothras, so I just thought this would complete my collection. And just to tap off of what Leslie said earlier, I am very selective about what I choose. I don't have to have, you know, for myself, it's not knocking anybody, but I don't have to have the same figure in 15 different colors or whatever. I really concentrate on a few figures that I really, really like. Or, you know, I like Mothras, I like Hedras, I like Burning Godzillas, and of course, I love GMK. So, you know, anyway.
Say that louder for Kyle. You love what?
GMK. Okay? Yeah, you know, if I ever had a tattoo, that would probably, you know, put that on there, GMK. But anyway. But yeah, just a gorgeous piece. When I saw, I was like, I got to have that. That thing is huge, you know.
Right.
But that's why, you know, I wanted to have her and have a piece of this beauty. It's absolutely beautiful.
And what about the Godzilla? I guess it goes without saying, but are you thoroughly impressed with how everything came out?
Impressed? You know, like Rihanna had, you know, we just went to Barbados, but you know, we saw Rihanna's childhood home, and you know, it's all, where have you been all my life? That's what I want to say to Spiral, because you guys rock. I mean, the packaging, the box. I mean, this figure. As soon as I saw it, my mouth started watering, and that's the thing. Like when I see a figure and I get so excited, and I start getting a lot of juice in my mouth. That's excitement, you know what I'm saying? I saw that piece. I was like, well, I'm going to have a broke year because I got to have that. I was like, babe, I'm getting it. He's like, what? I'm getting it. What? The Burning Godzilla with the wings. Yeah, got to have it.
And that's the thing. Because I personally, I have kind of had my fill with Legendary. Because we got a few legendary Godzillas in this house. Like, Sandra, you already got the S Plus Gigantic Standard 2019. Mm-hmm. I got the Rick. Mm-hmm. We both co-owned the Burning one that S Plus did, which This one blows that one out the water. I think you can agree with that.
Yeah.
I got a couple 25 centimeters. I got a couple 30 centimeters of the legendary Godzilla. So I kind of have my feel with legendary, even though I was impressed with this figure when I first saw it. But when Sandra said that she wanted it, I was like, okay, that's awesome. And now that, you know, we were able to get it, I'm thinking about getting back on that legendary train, to be honest with you, because this thing is it is freaking amazing, and it's made people, because a lot of people have been getting there. It's courtesy of Kaiju Live and other retailers, mostly Kaiju Live, and a lot of people have been going bonkers over this thing. Like I haven't seen collectors get excited for this piece since that Godzilla versus Ebra set up there. You know, with Godzilla throwing the lobster.
Yeah.
That's the last time I remember seeing like a whole lot of people being really excited about a piece, whether they got it or not, right? So the fact that a lot of people are really excited about this, because Spiral, yes, they're a new company. They're a bold new company, in my opinion. They get my highest endorsement, even though the history has not been the best in the world. You know, with the whole King Ghidorah shipping fiasco and then the whole Zilla thing with the name and all the good stuff. But it's nice to see that things are starting to really turn around for Spiral, especially nowadays with the Monsterverse are kind of heating up. Things are heating up with the Monsterverse because, you know, we just got word about what the new title of the next film is going to be and when it's coming out. March 15th, 2024, Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. Not to mention that Toho's bringing out a new Godzilla film in under, 6 months?
Right.
So the timing could be better to be both a Godzilla fan and a collector. And this thing is amazing. I don't see anything topping this thing, to be honest. Figure of the year. Like when you look back on figures of the year, at least standout figures, right? You know, Prime One just put out their legendary Godzilla, right? But I think this one really stands out for a variety of reasons. Before we go into the meat and potatoes of the burning Godzilla, of course, we already covered Mothra or whatever. But you also, again, you got the deluxe, where it comes with the wings, but you can actually take apart the wings and have them as the standard burning Godzilla. We'll show you the light up feature in a few seconds. But you also got a few accessories that came with the burning Godzilla. You want to show those off right fast?
Absolutely.
Like start off with that right there, the black. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I almost feel like I'm buying a house when I get this thing because it's just so wonderful. So of course you have this named signed certificate of authenticity.
What number you got? What number you got?
I have number 419.
419.
So,
okay.
419 out of 450.
And that's the thing about Spiral Studios. I think these are kind of like one and done type of things. Not trying to say that they will never go back to reissuing like, you know, the Monsterverse King Ghidorah that they put out a couple years ago, or this guy. But I think the point is, like, if you missed out on this, then you have truly missed out, quite frankly. Now, far as I know, I think the deluxe is pretty much sold out everywhere. But I do believe that Kaiju Live, AJ Russo's shop, he does have a few of the standards available. So if you were on the fence about getting this guy,
better get him.
You better get him before
he gets gone.
Before he gets gone, because again, I think these are like one and done type of things. At the moment, you know, at some point they may reissue the Burning Godzilla. You never know, but I think again, if you missed out on this guy now, especially if you want one, if you got the money for it, and if you missed out on it, I think you're gonna really regret that. Now let's go into some stats about the figure itself before we go into the next item.
Okay, got it.
Okay. And I measured this as before you came up here, Sandra, and it's big. Let's just get it out of the way right now. It is big. It is enormous. Even the boxes that it came in were like the sizes of freaking refrigerators.
Two boxes.
Two boxes. And let me tell you, if you do get the deluxe version, let me just tell you,
better have a pickup truck.
Yep, have a pickup truck in case UPS doesn't deliver to you. Yep. Get a pickup truck and also get an extra pair of hands, because yes, I put this together by myself, but let me just tell you, I was so out of breath when I was done. I was so out of breath putting this thing together. Like this, it requires a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because, the wings are delicate, whatever, and you don't want anything to chip off. You don't want to be too negligent or too careless when assembling this thing. So seriously, I was really out of breath. But the stats for Godzilla is as follows. Godzilla himself stands at 20 inches tall, shade under 21 inches tall. From the tip of his snout to the end of his tail, he is at 41 inches long. The diameter of the base itself is like maybe 21 inches. And everything lights up, which you'll see momentarily. And
then the height.
And the height, because for a while before he came in, I actually thought that he was going to be like the same height and size as the Ghidorah. Ghidorah, at the top of his wing, is 32 inches tall, 32 inches high. Godzilla with the wings here is at 44 inches tall. That is almost 4 feet tall. That's almost like a small child. A burning one, in fact. But that is the size of this Godzilla. So please keep that in mind. Obviously, you're not going to put this thing in the shelf. And why would you? You want this thing out in the open, but make sure that you have so much space for this guy, especially height-wise. Again, 44 inches tall. He towers over the Ghidorah. Now, I have the standard Ghidorah that doesn't come with the base, but even if you put the base that came with the deluxe version of Ghidorah underneath Ghidorah, it'll still raise him up like 3 inches. He is still not as tall as the burning Godzilla here. You know what I'm saying? So he's, it's going to command some space for him. But if you're somebody who doesn't want to display the wings, that's perfectly fine. It came with alternate dorsal plates where you can take off the wings and you can put in like dorsal plates to have them as the standard burning Godzilla. Cool thing about the wings do light up. They light up at the base of the wings. You have to take off the wings, push a button, and they'll light up, which we're not going to do. I'll probably do that when I do a proper review on my channel. But for like light up, the base lights up, which is an awesome light up. Even the base lights up by itself. And when you put Godzilla on top of the base, his right foot has some connectors, some battery connectors that connects to the battery ports on the base at the imprint of the right foot. Once you put it on top of the base, and then the whole thing lights up. As a matter of fact, Sandra, would you do the honors and light it up? Light it up. Drum roll. Hold on. I got to cut the light off.
Woo, it's getting hot in here.
I got to cut the light off.
It's getting hot in here.
I cut the light off. Cut the light off. Look at that. Look at that. Ain't that awesome?
Yes.
Oh, God, this thing is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Oh, God, let me put the light back on. Oh, you got to love live television. Television. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen some great lineups in my time when it comes to X Plus, Problem Studios, and other collectible companies. But I have to tell you, this is, in my opinion, the greatest lineup ever assembled on a Godzilla figure. Yep. And imagine how much territory that takes in. The light up on this thing, this really replicates Godzilla when he's truly burning, when he's at his most powerful in the film. Oh my God, this is awesome. Look at that. Oh my God, look at the burning buildings, on the base. Basically the buildings are melting at this point. Remember in the film when he converted into the burning Godzilla? Yep. Everything started melting. Cranes, buildings, apartment buildings. Oh my God, this thing is
it is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I mean, just to see it in person, it's one of my greatest investments. I love it.
Now, let me ask you a couple questions before we move on here. But is this your favorite collectible now?
No.
It's not?
I mean, it's going to... Anything GMK is going to be top of everything. I mean, GMK will always woo me. But this right here...
1.5?
Yeah. It's right up there with it.
It's right there
You know,
with
you
it?
got A plus and A and A minus. Okay, so A.
That's not bad.
Nah, it's right. I mean, I love it. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. I love it though. It's just freaking. I mean, Spiral Studios, they're doing a fantastic job. I mean, amazing. These pieces are amazing. Really are.
Now let's go to the second thing that you got in the packet. Yeah, in the packet. Excuse me, and that is a Monarch packet. Basically, what the same thing that I got with Ghidorah, where it has like some background information or the biography of the kaiju itself or the Titan itself. You ain't got to open it.
Yeah, it says for eyes only, official classified document.
Yeah, so that's about Burning Godzilla. Probably again a biography, some stats on him. You know, going by what happened in the movie, quite frankly.
Right.
So that's cool. Again, the same thing happened with Ghidorah. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I should buy a briefcase.
And the fact that Spiral Studios actually included this into the package really is a cool thing.
It's a nice touch.
It's a nice touch. It's a nice touch. Yes, it is. Last thing for us accessories, what you got down there?
Man, this is awesome in itself. Look at this. Is this not a phenomenal poster?
Yeah, that is from Matt Frank.
So I'm going to Michael's tomorrow so I can get my frame for this.
Yeah, that's from Matt Frank, one of the most celebrated and awesome and talented artists in our community. He makes some great art. He has done work officially, I believe, for I think Ultraman. I think he has worked with Toho, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but he's one of the most celebrated artists in our community. And actually, AJ, you know what? I think that's when you saw this for the first time. AJ had an interview with him, and they were showing prototype pictures of this. And that's when you said, I got to have it.
Yeah, I started going crazy at that time. Like I said, I had that mouth watering effect going on. I was like, got to have it.
Right. So that portrait, show it again for me, please, one last time. Yeah. So this portrait comes with the deluxe. I don't know if it comes with the standard. Don't quote me on that, but this came with the deluxe. You know, with the picture of Godzilla with the wings, you know, whatever. And you know what? Honestly, we seen the movie like millions of times. Even when we first watched it, right? Remember we took the grandkids to go see it. It was a fun time. I didn't even see this like in the film. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until AJ and Matt pointed it out where I went back in the movie. I was like, wait a minute, he does have this like image of the Mothra wing just exploding from his body.
Oh yeah, that's what's ooh wow. I remember saying that during the movies, but you know, the more you watch it, the more you're going to be in tune in watching, you know, more specific details.
Right. So again, even though it's the moment that happens, like I think he explodes or does that pulse attack, maybe I think at least twice. I remember seeing at least twice. But again, it happened so fast in the first time I watched the movie that it just went over my head, right? But now every time I watch the movie over and over again, I always look for that moment of that Mothra tie-in with Godzilla where he becomes super powerful to take out Ghidorah. I guess if you could answer this question, I would appreciate it. But now that you have bear witness up close and personal with all three Spiral Studios releases at the time of this recording, King Ghidorah, Burning Godzilla, and Mothra, rank them from your least favorite to your most favorite.
That's not fair.
Life ain't fair.
That's not fair. This not fair. Well, I'm gonna tell you to be honest with you. I mean, Mothra is beautiful. She's absolutely gorgeous because even when I watched the 2019 in this form right here, I was like, man, she is gorgeous. Look at her. I'm like,
now, mind you, keep in mind, both Godzilla and Ghidorah are basically resin pieces. You know, of course, the wings of Godzilla here, they're not resin. You know, they're hard plastic, I believe.
Well, let's do for detail's sake. This Mothra is very detailed.
Right.
Okay. And of course, you know, this is not resin. So I'll do that as 3. 2 would definitely be the King Ghidorah. There's a lot of great detail and stuff like that. But ain't nothing, got anything on this Burning Godzilla. I mean, it is gorgeous. Absolutely amazing. I mean, if Spiral Studios keeps doing pieces like this, I mean, it just gets greater and greater and greater and greater. I'm like, I mean, and I like the big pieces. You know what I mean? I like the blowed up, big gigantic pieces, just as like the Mothra. That's another reason why I want it, because it's big.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I didn't want it to get lost on a shelf or something like that, because it is a big piece. The same thing with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it being big. I like the humongous pieces. That's why I have mostly the X Plus gigantic figures. I have a lot, you know, if you look at my stuff, that's what I have. A lot of is just the bigger pieces.
Right.
I do have some reels, but for my personal taste,
you like me. You like the big stuff.
I like the big pieces, because I mean, when I came around the corner in the house and I was like, whoa, you know, it just took my breath, because they're like, this is just phenomenal. Love it.
And isn't it ironic that the first piece that I got you that kind of made you a collector was ironically what?
The Burning Godzilla.
The original 95 Burning Godzilla. And
yes.
Now you have the latest Burning Godzilla.
Right. I walked around carrying that thing, and I carried it like a baby for like 7 hours walking around the house, even though I can't carry that. But, you know, yeah, I do really, really like Burning Godzilla. And this right here has just been amplified. It just, you know, has me so excited. I mean, there's a few figures that I really like a lot of course, GMK, Burning Godzilla.
Hedra.
I like Hedra.
Yeah.
I will just lose my freaking mind if I get a Hedra big like that.
That size? You want a Hedra that size?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Okay.
But I would love to see a Hedra like that. They have it light up too.
Yeah.
Hey, that would be, even a Biolante. That's for you, Christine. A Biolante is big. You know, Gigan. You know, so it's I like the
making Kyle happy right now when you say
Gigan. You know, enormous figures. Like, this is awesome. I even, you know, I would go for a Gamera, even though I like your big one, just a, you know.
But you don't like his roar.
No.
You like the monster as long as he's quiet. But I know that the elephant sounding roar just doesn't sit on your good side.
Well, I like him better than Minya, because, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Minya is but we ain't gotta talk about that right now.
Anywho.
But anyway, but between the two Burning Godzillas that you do have, not the S Plus one, the original 95 and this one, which one you like better?
I mean, you can't compare that, because
yeah, that's true.
This is the light up version, and this is bigger than the other one. But I'll tell you what, I put them right beside of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because they both are significant.
Very nice pieces. I mean, X Plus did a great job on that Burning Godzilla, the 95 Godzilla. X Plus did a great job. Not knocking X Plus, because they do have some phenomenal figures or pieces
but this
that I have.
Blows out the
but
water.
This right here, Spiral has put these figures on another level.
That's true.
So you got to understand. That's like having a Mercedes and a BMW. You know what I mean? Spiral and X Plus is like the Mercedes and BMWs or Bentleys of cars. You know what I mean?
That's a great analogy. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, I mean that's the way that, you know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you already ranked the Spiral releases. You ranked the Burning Godzillas. Got a couple more questions, and then we'll be out of here. Again, it's gonna be short and sweet and to the point. Now, as far as like Godzilla, is Legendary high up on your list? I mean, like, I know GMK Burning Godzilla is Legendary like number 3 in terms of your favorite designs of Godzilla.
I do like Legendary.
Okay, which one you like better, 2014 or 2019?
2019. And I told you why, because just like in the movie, The 2019,
his swagger,
his more relaxes. If you notice, 2014 he was stiff. 2019 he came in, had that Denzel Washington stroll.
Are you comparing Denzel Washington to Godzilla?
I don't care. The part where he comes up and he's beside the building and he starts walking, he's got more shoulder movement. He's got more facial expressions in 2019 than the 2014. So he has like that stroll to him, like, yeah, I'm about to whoop it. Yeah,
Hey, AJ's in the chat. He says hello.
Hey, AJ, how you doing?
Thank you so much, AJ. In case you just got here. But yeah, this thing is, again, this is about you, Sandra. It's about your testimony. These are your pieces, even though technically we're married. And no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, that's the law of the land. But nah, seriously, Ash and AJ, thank you so much for making this happen. They did a phenomenal job. Even when you had to turn the figure off, like the light up, like the detail on this thing is phenomenal. It is amazing. And even then, like I said, the base itself lights up by itself.
It's
right.
Great.
Yeah, it's great. Which leads me to my next question. Because I think the next release from Spiral is going to be the gigantic GMK Godzilla. And you know what? I just had an idea. It just came to me.
Jesus.
When we get that in, I'm thinking this might be experimental, right? Because again, the base lights up by itself, right? How cool would it look if you put the gigantic GMK on top of that base with the burning city around them?
Lord Jesus, my mouth waters. Lord, help me, Jesus. Spiral, take the wheel. I'm trying to tell you.
The first ever gigantic size, suit accurate dad bod GMK Godzilla. Supposedly it's coming out in June before when the summer gets underway, probably before G-Fest. But that is the next big release. Woo! That is pegged to come from Spiral Studios.
Thank you, Spiral.
And if that release is anything like this one, I think we're in for some great stuff. Their lines are awesome.
Yeah.
You have this line right here with the Mothra, the Titans of the Monsterverse. Vinyl 35cm pieces of monsters or characters from the Monsterverse. Right? Then you have the Ultimate Master line with Godzilla, the Battle in Boston series. We got Godzilla. We got King Ghidorah. They announced, I think not too long ago, that they're working on an adult Mothra, right?
Yep, awesome.
I can't wait to see what Rodan's going to look like.
Yeah,
Don't forget about Rodan now.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, if Spiral does a big Rodan like this, or a big Mothra like this, I gotta have it. Because I swear, those can't take it. I swear.
Yeah. And also the Legacy line, of course, is, I guess, their modern interpretations of Godzilla, past incarnations, and starting off with the bang with GMK. But can you imagine what an 84 Godzilla would look like? Or a 68 Godzilla would look like? Or 54? Or, I know you don't like Shin, but I think a Spiral Studios Shin Godzilla would look awesome.
Actually, to touch on Shin a little bit, there are some figures of Shin that I do like.
Like that purple one
I got
there?
One. Yeah, I like the purple one. And then there's that bust that I saw. I forgot what his name that got it at the G-Fest last year. Oh, what Greg Betters? Was it Greg Betters?
Yeah, Greg Betters.
Greg Betters. I liked his bust and the way he painted it. It looked really good.
Oh yeah, I remember that Shin bust.
Really good. So the GMK. Oh my Lord! I'll be foaming at the mouth when that thing comes in. I swear. I mean, if it's anything
like this,
yeah. So Spiral, you're setting the par. So GMK, cannot wait to see that piece.
All right, we're about to wrap this thing up. Before you give your final thoughts, if you were in control of Spiral, I think you kind of already talked about this a few seconds ago, but what monster what size would you want to see Spiral Studios do? If you could have, it could be any monster, it could be any scale, gigantic, devil real, 30 centimeter, or whatever. If you were president of Spiral Studios, what monster and what size would you want to see them do that you think would make them a lot of money?
They make a lot of money?
Yeah. And well, I tell you what, that you think will make them a lot of money, and also answer what you want to see personally.
Okay. Well, I would think to have a humongous Mothra.
You want the classic one or the Monsterverse one? Because they all work on the Monsterverse one.
Okay, so the Monsterverse. If it's gonna light up, I think that would do amazing. I did say I do like Hedra. I really, really do. I do like Hedra. I would like to see a Gigan, a 35 centimeter Gigan.
Gigan.
Yeah, I mean, because there are some characters out there, they just get like a what they call that when somebody just shows up at a piece of the movie and they're gone.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that called? I can't even think of what it's called.
I don't know, like one-time artifact, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that they're just in and out, and then so I would like to have something, like that, but bigger figures on the ones that just have just a little short piece, but they're still important. You know what I mean?
And make them unique.
Okay.
So if it's up to you, you would. I'm assuming that you would want to see a gigantic Hedra at some point.
I would love to see a gigantic Hedra because we don't have one. Period. X Plus hasn't done one.
Marmot has done. Marmot has done like a stylized Sofubi, almost, I think, giant.
And I like Sofubi too. Give a shout out. I have a couple Sofubi pieces, and they're Hedras.
Yeah, before it's like realistic version of Hedra.
I would like to see a great big gigantic
realistic version
of Hedra. That would be great.
Okay. If we're up to me, I kind of agree with Hedra, but I would hope that Spiral Studios would do
a cameo appearance. That's what I was trying to.
Cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Gigan was a cameo. You know what I mean?
He was a cameo. Now he was a. I won't say he's a cameo, but he's more so. He's a monster that has a limited appearance, but he has like a great cult following.
Yeah, but I'm just
like
saying,
Hedra.
just like as far as people doing.
I see what you're saying.
He's only been a cameo.
Yeah.
Because people are not really recognizing him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, outside of the fan base. Outside the fan base.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Like I agree with that.
Cameo in the figure world.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. So I actually like the fact that you're showing Gigan some love. Again, I think Kyle, I think Kyle is loving you right now more so than he did, but with the whole GMK thing. But if we're up to me, I would like to see Spiral Studios do. This is for the Legacy series. I want to see them do a gigantic size 84. Yes, I know I just got an 84, but after seeing what Spiral Studios has done with the Burning Godzilla and the Ghidorah, I can only imagine what a Spiral Studios sculpted gigantic size version of the 84 Godzilla would look like. And the 1984 film turns 40 next year, so the timing is perfect to do a gigantic size 84. If X Plus is not going to do it, Spiral Studios, maybe you can do it. Everybody in the chat, if you want to see a gigantic size 84 Godzilla in the Legacy series, let Spiral Studios know right now. Right now. Again, the film turns 40 next year, so all we can do is hope, right? But Sandra, in your final thoughts, the acquisition of both Mothra from the Titans and the Monsterverse, and of course the Battle in Boston Ultimate Master Line, Burning Godzilla 2019, the deluxe version. Your final thoughts. Are you happy? Are you ecstatic? What are you?
I am ecstatic, and if you did get one, I hate it for you. Because I will never, ever get rid of these. Sell them, whatever. Spiral, keep doing what you do. I cannot wait to get my GMK. I mean, just to put it with these pieces, it's amazing. Y'all just keep on doing what you do. I love it. Thank you so much again.
And thank you again, AJ, and thank you to Ash and everybody that's involved with Spiral Studios, again, from the engineers who sculpted the figure, who planned it out, who even got the license to get to sculpt these monsters, from the people that actually package the materials and put them on the containers and all that good stuff. If you're involved in any way, shape, or form of this figure being in our collections right now, myself, Sandra, and everybody else who has got one, and maybe people who don't get one but want to get one, we give you a round of applause for making this happen. We really do appreciate it. And also, thank you for everybody in the chat for being here with us. You know, again, not going to be here too much longer. But for everybody that's in the chat, you know what I'm saying? You know, Mark Rodriguez, of course, Godzilla Train 1090, of course, Kyle Helmy's in the chat. Helmy! Of course, you know, AJ Russo, you know, Bitrate, Luminous, just everybody that's in the chat right now. Thank you so much. You know, you could be anywhere else in the world, but you chose to share this moment with my queen, and I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Let me do a couple plugs to show you some things to come on Collect All Monsters, as well as my personal channel of Leslie and Sandra Reviews. Now, mind you, this is just Sandra's initial thoughts. I'm going to do a full review on my channel. You'll see this guy again next week on Collect All Monsters when I have in the background for show and tell. On May 27th, which is the weekend, the Saturday before Memorial Day. I'm going to get together with Michael Hamilton, Eric Stowe, of course, Sandra. You know, we're all going to get together. Marcellus Winters, because he just got the standard Burning Godzilla, right?
Okay.
We're all going to get together on Collect All Monsters and have our first impressions. I know Sandra, you know, gave her first impressions, but damn it, she's coming back.
Yep.
So she's coming back. So we're all going to get together and have a first impressions live stream discussion on how we feel about the awesome deluxe version or standard version of Spiral Studios Burning Godzilla 2019. Of course, Sandra and I are going to come back maybe on this channel or my channel. We're going to compare both the Spiral Studios Burning Godzilla 2019 up against the Spiral Studios King Ghidorah. You know what I'm saying? I also want to do a project where we compare both the old school and new school versions of the Burning Godzilla. Of course, the S Plus Gigantic Series 95. Now we have the Burning 2019. So there's going to be lots of coverage of the Burning Godzilla from Spiral Studios 2019 between my channel, Let's Chambers College Reviews, as well as Collect All Monsters. Because this thing is worth celebrating. It is awesome. And if you got one, I know you're in hog heaven like Sandra and I are. But if you're on the fence and you want to get off that fence, get your butt to Kaiju Live Shop right now and grab you a standard. In my opinion, the best Burning Godzilla collectible ever. Greatest light up ever. The presentation, it is amazing. And after some ups and downs with Spiral Studios, it seems that things are finally turning around for the company. And I expect nothing but bigger and better things for Spiral Studios. And again, thank you to Ash and thank you to AJ, thank you to Kyle and everybody in the chat for being here with us. We really do appreciate it. And also come back here tomorrow on Collect All Monsters, where myself, David Dopko, and Jonathan Portman are going to have an anniversary discussion for my favorite film, 1964's Mothra vs. Godzilla, also known as Godzilla vs. The Thing. Oh my God, I can't wait to talk about that film tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So please be there for that. And on top of that, our next episode of Collect All Monsters is next weekend, next Saturday. All right, and it's going to be a Q&A episode. So I'm going to put the word out right now. So if you have any questions for myself and the rest of the hosts on Collect All Monsters, please post them on our Facebook group, the Collect All Monsters Monster Collectors Facebook group. Post your questions there, and we will get to them. We will answer them on that laid back chill episode next Saturday. But again, thank you to everybody that has been here with us. We really do appreciate it. We applaud Spiral Studios. We applaud AJ and Ash, and thank you so much. And we're looking forward to the GMK and everything else that Spiral Studios has to offer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to do the final catchphrase, the legendary catchphrase that our friends later on Collect All Monsters does on every single episode on Collect All Monsters. Now, Sandra, I need you to say Collect All Monsters at the very end for me. Can you handle that for me?
Absolutely.
All right. Again, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Now, our planet may be doomed. Our Earth devastated. The monsters are in revolt. And civilization is in chaos. We must unite and
Collect
all Monsters! Yeah! Woo! We gone! Woohoo!